In the ABC planning process, it's really important to know when you're thinking about retiring or in retirement, what phase your money is in. Is it in the accumulation phase or the distribution phase? And they're two totally different ball games. We take a look at a 30-year hypothetical illustration where we start with 10% and move on to 27% and have 11% loss. And we start with $500,000 and let it play out for 30 years. At the end of that 30 years in this illustration, you have $4.4 million, and it's been a nice 30 years. And yet, you might take a look at year 28, 29 and think, wow, I was going to retire with $6.7 million or $6.9 million, and you end up with $4.4 million. Well, that's hard to take. In fact, if you were in 2008 and you took a loss and looking at retiring in 2009 or 2010, you might have really struggled in that retirement outlook. So what happens, though, if we take and invert this index and we take the 36% and we put it at the top and then the 3% and the 13% and take the same $500,000, will we get the same $4.4 million at the end of the 30 years? Now, intuitively, most people say, no, it won't be the same $4.4 million. There has to be another different number. The reality is, in the commutative principle of multiplication says that we can put numbers in any order, positive, negative, in any order that we want to, and the number will always be the same as long as we don't take anything out of the equation. So we really don't care if the negative years come all at the beginning, all at the end, in the middle, or dispersed throughout. It just doesn't matter. You're still going to have the same $4.4 million at the end of the hypothetical 30 years. Yet, if we get to retirement and we need to take money out, say $30,000 a year, and we run this same hypothetical index, then what happens to our money? Let's say we inflate it by 3.5%, so that the first year we're getting $30,000 withdrawals, and in the 30th year, $81,000 worth of withdrawals. That leaves us with $1.2 million at the end of 30 years. Again, it played out nicely. But what happens if we take and do what we did in the first illustration and we invert the index? And we take the 36 and we put it up at the beginning and then the 3 and play that out. Well, the reality is we run out of money in 11 years. And if you run out of money in the first 11 years in retirement, you get to go back to work. In other words, if you blow your first 10 years, and retirement really happens in thirds, and if you blow that first third, then you really are going to struggle for the next 20 years in retirement. So it does matter in retirement in the distribution phase if we're taking money out when those red numbers occur. And the reality is we don't know when those red losing years will occur. And that's why the ABC planning process and the ABC model of investing is so important.